When you think of Portugal, you most probably think of it as a holiday destination, with its white sandy beaches, beautiful climate and hospitable people. As a second-generation Asian living in London, I felt I've had a lot to complain about. But compared to the immigrants and their descendants in Portugal, we're living a life of legal luxury. Chullage gives a voice to angry Cape Verdeans, the oldest established immigrant group in Portugal, many of whom live in poverty in the ghettos of Lisbon. It's a fight to keep their community together and establish a place in mainstream society. All they want are equal rights. Instead, they're demonised by the press and casually discriminated against by the country's institutions. More than half of Portugal's Cape Verdean community live in an administrative limbo. 46,000 of them have lived there all their lives, and yet they're still denied basic citizenship. Rapper, teacher and immigration advocate Chullage uses music to highlight this and many other problems that one might be shocked to find in Western Europe.
Isto é para ti que não recuas. Mesmo com tanta fome, nestas ruas ódio consome. Estas ruas, união que some nestas ruas. Tanto chip que não dorme nestas ruas, porcos de uniforme nestas ruas. Para ti que lutas, para que transforme nestas ruas. A paz se forme nestas ruas, transforme nestas ruas. Pões alegria contra a dor enorme nestas ruas sujas. Brother, este é o teu espaço, controla, não fujas. És o leão de Judá, por isso transforma. Que não rujas nestas selvas de cimento. Nos balcões mais sensa em forma de conhecimento. Eu sei que és tu que mantens agulhas nestas esquinas. Chegares patrulha nestas esquinas, sem guinturas. Esquinas sempre orgulhas estas esquinas. Mas sei que na hora da guerra perante eles não te inclinas. Tu tinhas coisas street fighters, fui lá bom para altura. Tu tinhas guerra ou passado, fui lá bom para altura. Tu tinhas fucking money makers, fui lá bom para altura. Sistema quiser para o trava o cheiro do fumo. Tu tinhas fucking money makers, fui lá bom para altura. Tu tinhas MC beatmakers, fui lá bom para altura. Gangsters revolutionary, fui lá bom para altura. Sistema quiser para o basas lumpa fura, o quê? Basas lumpa fura. Posso saber, eu tenho basas lumpa. Basas lumpa fura. É assim. Não deixes que o sistema faça com que detestes o teu povo. Que os tegas sul, a norte, a oeste, a este o teu povo. Tu vieste do teu povo, contribui e retribui o mal que fizeste ao teu povo. Faz a tua faca, mas investe o teu povo. Pouca pobreza, exploração, não se manifesta o teu povo. Dança no inferno, o teu povo.
So, these are pretty impressive stencils that you got inside there and on the door. So who is responsible for this?
This is first of all, this is a Milcar Cabral, man. This is our leader, the responsible for our independence. But the guy who did this
from Guinea-Bissau,
yeah, Guinea-Bissau and Cape Verde too.
Mm.
The guy who did this is Vils. You know, he used to be from a place near to here, but he always came here because he studied in our school, and he always came here and he taught us how to do this stencil, to the stop police brutality. He taught us to do design, to do our own flyers, you know, and stuff. And he always, before going to London, he always worked with the association. He did our logo to this capacity kappa.
5 years ago, Chullage and some of his peers started this organisation in Arantela. Before then, kids in the neighbourhood had nowhere to go.
I write a lot about Islamophobic too.
Now they have more of a choice and can learn music technology and computer skills, or just hang out somewhere where they feel safe.
It was because we didn't have good models to follow, you know. We didn't have a place to be where we could do something different from what's being done in the street. So we created this space in order to show the kids that they have an alternative. Okay, man.
Não, isso ainda vai ser.
Chullage has become an immigration advocate by default. People look to him as a source of practical help and as a fighter for their rights.
Olha, eu vou falar com ele hoje, depois disso a gente fala.
Sim. Agora já tenho uma residência para mostrar. Ah, pois então.
victory in Portugal, you know, residence card.
But recently this has taken him away from his first passion, music.
I can't, you know, I have 3 years without making a CD because I work here, I pass a long time here. I don't even have time to go to studio, and this is a problem too. Because people started saying, yeah, you're more into social work and political work than into music, you know, you gotta balance it. And I lost focus on my music sometimes because I was doing this. And now I wanna focus on my music too.
Chullage told me he wanted to explore the roots of his parents' music. Morna is one of Cape Verde's most distinct and important musical styles. He enlisted some help from other Cape Verdean musicians, Vera and Joy. They're a new generation of Cape Verdean artists with their own style, drawing on their past, but seeking new meaning through a more modern approach. Lisbon is one of Europe's most stunning capitals and attracts hundreds of thousands of tourists every year. These are the pictures that most of the world sees. But beyond these postcard images, there's another Portugal. Away from its historic centre lie suburbs like Arantela, where tens of thousands of Cape Verdeans live below the poverty line. Many fled the poverty of their homeland, expecting a new life, only to find more hardship awaiting them in Europe. They began migrating to Portugal in big numbers in the 1970s. Lisbon needed cheap labour to support its growing economy, and people from the former Portuguese colony needed a future for their families. It's here that I discovered another aspect to Chullage's activism.
If you go to Arentela, if you go to Buraca, if you go to Azinhaga dos Besouros, if you go to Carcavelos, you will see a completely different reality. You'll see people living in slums that you don't expect to see in Europe no more. You see people that were kicked out of their slums. I'm not even saying kicked out of a house, a decent house, kicked out of a slum. You know, you'll see people that don't have a job for at least 2, 3, 4 years. And I'll tell this because they're black, you know, or because they are from another ethnic group, but they are immigrants.
Vera's rich voice is the perfect complement to Chullage's forthrightness. Chullage's perspective reminded me of ADF's approach in earlier years. His lyrics are direct and express a very clear and present enemy. Racism in Portugal is open and easily defined, whereas in Britain, years of political correctness have sometimes blurred the picture.
Amazônia, dentro porvilhão. Baixo pé, baixo pé, baixo pé, baixo pé.
És tempo a sentar bloco, és tempo a comer pouco, és tempo a contar troca, se vida na sufoco, és tempo a virar louco, gritar até virar rock, para poder sentar, mas tempo a apanhar choque, onde democracia. democracia contra discriminação. Eu sou hipocrisia na civilização. Põe o povo a entrar, passar a Gibraltar, morrer na meio de um bote, fulhor na meio de mar. Minhas brodas a tentar entrar na chão da Europa, trator para criminoso na monte, polícia e tropa. Para aqueles que já entraram explorado no mundo laboral, para cis que já entraram explorado no mundo sexual. Imigração com um problema, imigração é um direito. Acabou morrer nesse dilema, lutar para ser aceito. O mundo é para todos nós, nenhum ser humano é igual. Já que de nada, nega, já não é igual. Esse filme começa igual para tudo. Personagem foi um dia fazer mala, despedir, arrancar para um viagem, arranjar coragem, perder nesse mundo selvagem. Sem teres quero imagem, tu estás a esperar na última paragem. Arranjar coragem, quadrar a barriga desse aperto. Senta buscar um dia de trabalho, um broco entrar um cachu para ser. Foi aquele chão que sei cá, cachuva que quisquei.
I was born here, and I was born before 81. My brother was born after 81, and the law changed, and that law saw that everybody born after 81 in Portugal was not Portuguese if he was an immigrant descent. So my brothers that was born in Portugal, they were considered Cape Verdean, and that limits their rights.